Jake Horn.
Jake Thorne, is that what you said?
Jake Horn.
Jake Thorne.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Seaman?
It's Simon.
It's quite a shindig you're throwing here, so explain us why we're here with 12,000 of your favorite people.
Lots of variety here. Okay, awesome.
Coffee giant Starbucks.
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 Starbucks. Starbucks.
Have you heard of Starbucks? If you said no, then you either live in a third world country or you live under a rock. I don't know. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Jack. I got Wi-Fi. Starbucks is a pretty big brand. It's an American coffee company that was founded in Seattle, Washington in 1971, so it's been around for a while. But it hasn't been around as long as its competitors, such as Dunkin' Donuts, which actually spawned about 20 years before Starbucks. Starbucks is the biggest coffee company in the world, at least in the context of revenue. And to be completely honest, I think a big reason it's as big as it is because of the memes. The stereotypes, the basic white girls that go there all the time, all the memes that kind of center around Starbucks, I believe is a big reason it was able to kind of grow and get as big as it is now. And I mean, that's honestly the reality for a lot of things. Memes can get things popular, and I don't think Starbucks is a stranger to that. So with Starbucks being as big as it currently is, let me ask you, do you think it deserves the popularity it has? Is Starbucks overrated? As of 2019, Starbucks now exists in over 30,000 locations worldwide. A really popular opinion surrounding Starbucks is that it's overpriced. And honestly, I don't think that's wrong. I could make me a cup of coffee here at my house for only a fraction of the price it cost me to get a drink from Starbucks. I mean, I wouldn't have access to like all the flavors and stuff that they have. I wouldn't have access to the really fancy cups or the aesthetic environment.
I'll sue your ass.
But I could still get me a coffee for a fraction of the price. So no one's really a stranger to the fact that Starbucks is super expensive. One thing Starbucks has sort of made clear as a company is that they don't just sell coffee, but they sell an experience. You see, whenever you go to Starbucks, you have a really fancy aesthetic environment. They always try to make everything super nice and aesthetically pleasing so that you'll want to stay there and enjoy your coffee. And you can watch people whip up your coffee, which I guess is part of the experience. And I think I can vibe to that. I can see why you'd probably want to go to a Starbucks. Not only is it a good place to sit back and have a cup of coffee, but it's always free Wi-Fi, so you could work on stuff for school. I could go there and work on videos and stuff like that. Overall, it's just a really nice environment. So despite the really popular public opinion, try saying that 5 times fast. Popular public opinion. Okay, I guess it's not that hard. But yeah, despite the popular public opinion that it's way overpriced, you'll still see those people that are complaining about it go to Starbucks. Maybe not every day unless your wallet's just loaded like that, but you still will catch those people with a cup of Starbucks every once in a while. And I am definitely no stranger to that. I agree, Starbucks is super overpriced, but I still have me a cup of Starbucks at least maybe once a week.
Ow.
You want to see what the footage looks like that you got?
Yeah. It's recording. See?
Did it vibrate?
Yeah. See?
Can I get the almond honey flat white?
Sure, what size?
Large.
Anything else?
Can I get a grande iced green tea, please?
Do you want that sweetened?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
That's it.
What's the name for this one?
Jake Horn.
Jake Thorne, is that what you said?
Jake Horn.
Jake Thorne.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I got that on video.
Opinions surrounding Starbucks is really mixed. You'll find a lot of people that look at it negatively, and then there's a lot of people that look at it positively, which honestly does apply to everything, but I believe when it comes to Starbucks, it's super saturated with good opinions, which is why I'm even considering debating if it's overrated or not. I think the best way to be able to get a good hint of what people think of Starbucks is probably through reviews. So I'm gonna actually check that out right now, see what we can find. So I am on consumeraffairs.com. I'm looking at some of the reviews that have been posted for Starbucks. Verified reviewer, Tessa of Littleton Co. A few weeks ago, I went into Starbucks on Main Street in Brigton to study for my college psychology class. Studying. I ordered a pumpkin cream cold brew after a friend recommended it. When I got the drink, it looked very professional with the different layers of coffee and pumpkin cream. I stirred the 2 layers satisfyingly together and then took the first drink. I can't read. Then took the first drink and I fell in love with the drink. The atmosphere was perfect for studying. I would 100% recommend a pumpkin cream cold brew to anyone who enjoys coffee, or if you are looking for something different than a pumpkin spice latte. Hey, people found this helpful. I found that helpful. Scrolling through here, we have a lot of 5-star reviews. Oh wait, what? This is a 5-star review, but it says this Tuesday I had the most horrible experience with renting a it's with renting a car. They didn't have a horrible experience with Starbucks. They had a horrible experience with renting a car. Thank you. I found that helpful. Okay, here we go. So we do have a 1-star review right here. I've done my research and it seems like Starbucks does hiring. See, that's not me misreading it. There's a typo there. Starbucks does hiring people who hasn't worked in the industry coffee. Okay, maybe English isn't this person's first language, but let's bear with them a little bit. You just need to have good customer reviews. You can't teach anyone how to talk to people, but you can always reach them how to make something. I'm assuming that means teach. You can always teach them how to make something. I have 5+ years in retail customer services, but both places said I have no experience. Both hired people who worked at Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is this guy had a bad experience getting hired, and I guess he was rejected as an employee for Starbucks, so honestly, that's not really helpful because he's not a consumer. He just didn't get the job and he's salty, but keep looking through. Okay, 1 star. And this person has a picture. I ordered a caramel iced coffee and I got an iced black coffee with a bit of caramel syrup. I knew my order was wrong because I make different coffees at work myself. This was the worst experience I've ever had here. The only issue this person had was he got the wrong coffee. And I don't think that really damages Starbucks as a brand. It just means whoever was working obviously did their job wrong. So, don't worry, Starbucks. I'm not counting that one against you. Oh, these are all pretty recent too. This is barely January 22nd, 2020. Wow. So, this person says, filthy. Overflowing trash cans, 2 outdoors and 2 inside. Rude and disrespectful staff will not acknowledge customers. Never a smile or explanation of process. Overly rude endemic. I've been there several times over the past year. Each time I give them the benefit of the doubt. No more. Never again. I had to yell that. There's 4 explanation points. Despicable behavior towards paying customer who is always tipped at a 20+% rate. So honestly, that's not too good, especially by default, you should treat each customer with respect. But I mean, if this is a customer that's always tipping 20%, if you can't even be respectful towards someone who's tipping you, that is pretty despicable. But then again, this is another local thing. This doesn't apply to all Starbucks, just depends on the employees. So I guess you could say it's really at the fault of the employers for hiring people who might not be qualified for such a job. Oh, what do we have here? 1 star. Overworked, underpaid staff. Filthy, untidy stores. Title says it all. Moreover, too often long lineups, not for cash as much as for the coffee itself. Why, you ask? Well, see my title under staffing, bad management, greedy CEO, neighbors, family, and friends. We all do our best to avoid having to buy a coffee at any Starbucks stores in Toronto. Anyone else thoroughly fed up with Starbucks? Question mark. So one thing I guess I've been seeing a theme of here is filthiness. I go to Starbucks quite often and I can't say I've seen this filthiness. I believe, again, it just applies to whatever Starbucks you go to. They all have different employees and all employees are different. So it's up to the managers to make sure they have good standards when hiring people. And I guess it's also up to Starbucks to have good standards when hiring managers to hire people. So in a way, this is sort of at the fault of Starbucks, but it is sort of a stretch since it really just applies to these employees who obviously aren't doing their jobs correctly. So I guess really the most popular opinion I have of Starbucks right now is overpriced. And good for studying. I agree with both of those. They're both right. Well, I guess overpriced is kind of subjective, but I'm gonna say I agree. So the best way to solve this is to test it out myself. So I'm gonna set up 4 standards to test for Starbucks. Number 1 is gonna be quality. Number 2 will be experience. Number 3 will be pricing. And number 4 will be flavor. So I'm gonna see if Starbucks really deserves the popularity it has, or if it's just flat out overrated. The best driver in the world. Hey, do you like a donut? Okay, so we just got back from Starbucks and we're dealing with 4 standards. First one is quality, then we have experience, then flavor, and pricing. And Sarah helped me out with that. We had a plan to call her Karen, but I said Jaquan, and then they still put my name as Jake, so...
It didn't really count, but...
That failed completely, that was bad. Jake. Can you see? There we go, Jake.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. They got closer to my real name than they did to the fake name.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Going off the 4 standards, how would you say quality is at Starbucks?
Probably like a,
Like rate it like between 1 to 5 stars.
probably like a 4.
A 4-star rating?
4, yeah.
What do you think takes off the extra star?
Probably like time, I guess.
I agree with that. Like a drink shouldn't take that long to make, and we sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm an impatient person.
I can be, it just depends. But
Like,
either way, it should be quick.
This is genuinely not real green tea. They don't brew it from the leaves.
So
But it's still good, but it's not real tea
mine tastes
necessarily.
weird. So I guess I'll agree with you there. For quality, I'd go 4 stars. Because even if you look around there, like all the ratings saying that the trash cans are overstuffed, saying that there's rude employees and all that, that wasn't the case at our Starbucks, and it never is. So I think it's just like individual Starbuckses that have like dumb employees, and that really can't be like, you can't hold that against Starbucks as a brand in my opinion. At least I can't from my experience. We're gonna go with 4 out of 5 stars for that one. What was the next thing I said? Pricing?
Pricing.
What makes pricing kind of whack is
3 stars.
3 stars, really?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's already a popular opinion that Starbucks is overpriced, but then when you compare it to other places, it gets worse. Because like a caramel frap, that's like $6 to $7, right? If you go to McDonald's, you can get a large caramel frap. Same thing they have at Starbucks for around $3. Maybe $4 a tax, but $4, that's already half the price of what it would cost you at Starbucks. And they're pretty much exactly the same in terms of taste, because I used to get McDonald's fraps a lot, and the quality is pretty much the same too. Do you get energy from fraps?
I don't really drink fraps.
You don't?
No.
I don't even know if they're supposed to give you energy, but they never gave me energy.
Maybe just placebo.
I just felt fancy drinking a frap, like yeah, I got a frap. Okay, it's showing them much lower here. I could be wrong,
Yeah?
but I still think it's more expensive than McDonald's, obviously.
Maybe, probably.
I think it could be way cheaper. They don't really sell you a drink at Starbucks. They try and sell you the experience of having like a luxury coffee in a super aesthetic luxury place.
The way to look at it. You know, the cheese I got, that was like $1.68.
You got a little
Barbell cheese, so it's like this big with a wax all over it. You just like take the wax off it and you just eat it.
that was $1.90 something.
Something, I think so.
$2 for a thing of cheese?
Basically, something like that.
You could have got a whole thing of that at Walmart.
I know.
But I do get the whole experience thing. Like that's what they're trying to sell to you. But I think it could be cheaper, like way cheaper. So I'm gonna go with 3 stars as well.
Price,
on
yeah.
pricing.
3 stars.
Yeah, I think 3 stars is fair for that. For experience, they got my
fine.
name wrong. They got my name wrong. I said Jake Kwan and they put Jake, which is closer to my real name, which ruined everything. The lady was so, no, I'm kidding. They was nice. They're always
good
nice there.
service.
And it looks nice there.
Yeah.
There was no overstuffed trash cans or anything like that.
I mean, our table's a little salty, but yeah, there's like a little salt all over it.
Oh, I thought you like licked the table or something. Table
there's
is
like flakes
salty.
of salt all over it.
I'd say in terms of experience,
It's like a 5. I had fun.
really 5 stars. I was gonna go 4, but I guess there's no issue. There's no issue with
There's no
it.
issue.
Yeah, so 5 stars for experience. And last thing was flavor.
Oh yeah, flavor.
So when I get something like a caramel frap and all that, they usually taste the same as like everywhere else. Like if I was to get a caramel frap from McDonald's and one from Starbucks, it would taste exactly the same to me. This drink I got today, I got the almond honey thingy. It tastes weird. Like there's way too much honey in it, but maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't really know. What would you say about yours?
Pretty good. I like it. This is what I always get though.
Really? Have you tried anything else?
No. Well, yeah, but I don't remember what it was called. I think it was like a vanilla bean, but I'm not really a coffee person.
Nah.
No, I mean it's like good, but it's like.
Weren't you about to rant about it being fake or something?
Oh, this is about the tea, because it's not like I don't believe that they use like genuine like green tea leaves to like brew it and then.
Do you know for a fact, or you just don't think?
I'm pretty sure because I drank real green tea and this is not what it tastes like. But I could be wrong.
Could be.
Disclaimer, I could be wrong.
I don't think it has anything like exclusive that you can't get anywhere else for cheaper.
It kind of tastes artificial.
In terms of flavor, it's good enough, I'd say.
Yeah.
So because it's not really like an exclusive thing, and because it's not like the best tasting stuff in the world with everything, I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars. Is that because my seatbelt's on? You give it 4?
Yeah, 4 stars.
So
Pretty
it's
good.
meet in the middle at 3.5.
Yeah.
3.5 stars.
That's what I
Is that because my seatbelt?
No, it's my oil change. I still need to get that done.
Beeping type beat. So here's what I'm gonna do. We have our scores, and I'm gonna get whether it's overrated or not.
Like 3. Give it 3
Starbucks
stars.
has a 3.8 rating,
According to us.
in our opinion. Comparing our score to like the public opinion of Starbucks, do you think it's overrated?
To the public, a little bit, yeah.
Do you think people
Do it for like,
hype it up too much?
Yeah. I mean, Starbucks is great, but I think people only go there for like, you know, trends.
For the aesthetic?
For
the Instagram posts?
Yeah, TikTok, whatever.
I'm so sorry about the car noises. I didn't think it was that loud whenever I was recording. But anyways, yeah, 3.8 is our final score that we've given Starbucks, which means it sort of rides the fence whenever it comes to whether it's overrated or not. In a lot of ways, I do feel Starbucks is super overhyped, but at the same time, the quality and experience you get from going to Starbucks kind of lives up to the hype it gets. So honestly, I can't say on my own if I think it's overrated or not, because I think it's sort of earned a lot of the respect it has. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you think Starbucks is overrated or not? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll probably revisit this later in the future just to see what you guys think. And yeah, it's been your boy Jack, and I'm out.